You don't want to have any expectations from other people. If they're close to you, perhaps you do. And this is a mistake because everybody wants to be unique, just like you do. And if we look at things from this perspective, then your stress level can be low by just not having expectations. And given this dynamic where every individual is unique, you need to understand that you are also unique. And with this in mind, given you have some self-awareness, you see that you have your own desires. And from this reference point, we conclude that they also have their own desires, their own goals, their own aspirations, and whatever they want to do. And so why do we project onto other people some expectations? Why do we want to do the thinking for them, do the exploring for them? Why do we want to save them from making some mistakes? Why are we projecting our own fears onto them or our own desire for control? And the main reason we do this, as crazy as it sounds, is because we have good intentions in mind for them, given we have good intentions for us. So if we have good intentions for us, we are not only concerned with survival, but also with having our own desires met, not just our needs, but our wants. So in conclusion, we try to save people from doing things in a wrong way. So are we really saving, or is just that we want things in a certain way, given the will for control? It's a subconscious dynamic that we can't really see. So here could be multiple reasons, but we're not dealing with those reasons mainly because they're kind of unconscious, they're covered. We're going to have a look at a different paradigm. We're going to have a look at ourselves and precisely what's in our control and what's not. Part 1, control yourself. Point number 1, you need things to be a certain way so you can feel in control. You're looking for a prediction or a feeling because our mind runs on preset scripts. This is a big one because we want to see things in a certain way. We already expect something to take place in a certain way. And so when it doesn't, when we lack this feeling of predictability, we begin to, in a way, panic, and because we're losing control. And so we want to get that sense of control. When we don't have it in our lives, we seek to take it from other people's lives. And we do this precisely with weak people. We can sense them. They are around us. They usually come in a submissive attitude to you. They might not necessarily ask for advice, but they need to be listened, which also implies their desire to find a solution for their own problems. And so this is where we cast onto them inevitably by sharing our opinion onto what they share. And so if this is the case, we want to feel in control, especially when we deal with a situation we can't see the end of it. So given our own perspective and experience, we project onto different scenarios our best possible outcome. But this best possible outcome is biased because it comes from our own experience. It doesn't necessarily match that person's experience. And so what we need to do when we kind of give an advice or basically an opinion is to ask questions. That's all you have to do. If you want to feel in control, ask questions, but never instruct, because an advice, if it's not asked for, is free and is not really welcomed. So withhold yourself from giving your own opinion. And I want to give you a small warning. People are inclined to listen to information that will make them feel good, not necessarily that might help them. This is very crucial because the majority of people have an underdeveloped ego. Their ego needs evolution, needs work, not necessarily entirely removed, but it needs some work to be able to accept the good and the bad in life. And this is why you have to be careful when you're sharing your opinion with someone that you think, am I willing to listen to your advice? And so what you need to do, if your mind runs on script by default, given your conditioning and the way you grew in your family, is that you need to employ awareness, a high level of self-awareness. This is what you must do, and ask questions. People want to be listened. They don't want to be fixed. So get rid of the illusion and give this exercise a shot. From now on, don't give your own opinion if it's not asked for. Just ask questions and make people feel listened to and understood. And if you want to get rid of the desire of having control over people, just detach yourself from how you see the world from now on, especially in communication, in how you interact with others. Detach from what they say and be more an observer. That's all you have to do. And when you do this, you don't need to control anything. You just let it happen. And what happens is just you listening to them. That's it. They want to be listened. They don't want to be fixed, remember. Point number 2, you can only control how you see the world. If you can only control how you see the world, see it in a positive light. Always, always. At every step with any event, see it in a positive light. And when we're talking about people, you need to see them for who they believe they are. Because some people have different self-images and you gotta adapt to those. It's not easy. It will require some effort at first. But if you stick with it, you will get massive benefits just by listening to people. They will tell you the good and bad. And when you do, pay close attention to recurring patterns. And how do you pay attention? You just become aware. Get in their shoes. Be there for them. Be present. If you want to give you advice, ask first if you can do it. And they will be more open to listen to that suggestion. That's how you do it. This is the only thing you can control, how you see them. But when you do, see them for what they are. Don't judge. Part 2, accept others. You need to accept people around you for what they are, just as they are. If you don't vibe with them, just don't spend your time with them. But if you do, that's fine. That's perfect. It should be like that. But don't try to straighten where you can't. If in a person, the negative side is higher than the positive one, and if they choose not to change for you, you gotta let them. That's it. You gotta let them go. Because the only thing you can control is yourself. And remember, you're responsible for the friends you have. Point number 1, let them be who they want. If they want to smoke, if they don't want to go to the gym, if they're not taking life seriously, if you don't see them driven, just change them, man. You can accept and let people be what they want, but if it crosses the boundary of your standards, then don't spend time with them. But in this process, you gotta let people do what they want. Because remember, as people, we create this illusion, this dream life we have, because life is a dream, basically. It's just that intention takes place a bit slowly, but the intention is there. The intention to do things, that is. And if we create this illusion, given the need to be accepted, the best thing you can do with other people is just let them be who they are. This is a proper principle you need to follow. Let other people be who they want to be. This is a great truth. Because you don't want other people to change you, to change what you do. Especially if what you do is something you like to do with all your heart. So there is a proper principle here. You need to let others be what they want, regardless if they're closer to you or not. I know you have their best intent in mind, but don't interfere. People need to discover on their own what's good and what's bad for them in life. Any machinery has an instruction manual, but life doesn't come with one. So you need to let people discover on their own what's good and what's bad for them. Point number 2, you have the right to choose, not to change others. This is a very important bit because it shows you that there are people already designed for you to be your friends or your partners, and all you have to do is to become one of them. In this process, you change nobody. They already changed. Like you, there are loads of people. Would you marry yourself? Would you start a business with yourself? If yes, then somebody's out there like you. If not, then get to work on yourself. And this is very relieving because you don't have to straighten people up. You just choose who you spend your time with. You just choose where you invest your energy. This is your biggest power, the power to choose how you spend your time or how you waste it, what things you build, and so on. How you build yourself, how you construct yourself as a man and your entire life. Because everything compounds, don't forget, which is good. That's why you must choose. Don't try to change things. Don't try to improve what's not working. Just replace. That's an option. So think about that. But number 3, do you. Number 1, people are selfish despite projected altruism. So be selfish. This is a big one because you need to understand that people are selfish. At base, our own heart has a desire. That's what's most important for us. Like us, there are many people around us. They too have a heart and a desire, a goal, or something to strive for. With this in mind, we need to understand that when people try to help somebody, it's rarely because they want to. This behavior is mostly learned. Now, I might be wrong on this. Of course, I have the right to be wrong, just like you have the right not to listen to me. That's fine. We both have it. But this innate desire, this inborn desire, is very real. We are selfish. And it stems mostly from the need to stay alive, survival. At the base of it is survival. As soon as we understand this, and if this is natural, then everything we know about helping others and altruism is entirely selfish. Well, not entirely, of course, because we're not talking absolutes here. But what you need to understand here, and what's good, is that you must be selfish. Look after yourself first. That's the most important bit. As soon as you're okay, you can help others. But until you are not fully fulfilled and are not fully realized, then you can't think about helping others, especially when you don't have enough for yourself. So think about that, how you're managing with that, because you need to have yourself on point first, and then after that, others in mind. Point number 2, you have your own things to deal with. Count on that. Besides the fact that people have their own desires and their own ecosystem, if I can say that, they have their own problems. And they're dealing with them, same like you. And if you have your own goals on the path to getting them, you need to manage the obstacles. So as you can see, life is pretty much crowded with perspectives. We all have goals, we all have fears, we all have insecurities, but we should be mostly selfish. Only then we can help other people. Only when we have too much love for ourselves, we can love others, and so on. We start from the ground zero. What do you say about that? Because I think this is the way. Put yourself first so others can actually thrive on who you you became, right? Fix your own problems. Don't try to fix other people, because just like you, they have their own shit to deal with. Now, for some people might take some time, while for others it could go fast. It all depends on the level of self-awareness. That's all I can tell. So in order to do you need to raise your own self-awareness level. There is no other way around it. How do you do that? By becoming present. That's how you do it. Stop living in an illusion. Look at things for what they are and try to fix them to the best of your ability. Doing as less as possible effortful work and trying to rely more on the universe. You don't want to struggle, you want to flow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.